One of the most mysterious times in human history is the hour before dawn, Sahar. Why did the Prophet ﷺ wake during this time while everyone else slept? What was he actually doing? What happens during Tahajjud and Fajr that made him protect these hours so carefully? There are secrets hidden within those hours, not secrets in the sense of mystery, but realities that are often overlooked. The Islamic tradition teaches that specific things occur during this time. Provision is distributed. Angels gather and change their shifts. Allah descends to the lowest heaven. The heart reaches its most open state. The brain functions at its peak, but most of us never experience these hours. We sleep through them. Modern science is now beginning to confirm what Islamic scholars have always taught. Our bodies have a biological clock perfectly aligned with Fajr. Our brains are sharpest in the early morning hours. Our hormonal system is designed to support waking at this time. So we have a question worth exploring. What actually happens during the pre-dawn hours, spiritually, physically, and practically? Why did the Prophet structure his entire life around them? And what changes when someone actually begins to participate in these hours instead of sleeping through them? In this video, we'll examine these questions. We'll look at what happens spiritually, what science shows us about our bodies, and what the practical results are for someone who commits to this practice. Night is ending, day is beginning. Between them is a threshold. This threshold is not arbitrary. Something specific happens at this moment. The night does not gradually fade into day. There is a point where night stops and day begins. In the Islamic tradition, this hour is understood as a moment of reset. The day begins fresh. The night's cycle ends completely. But this reset is not only about time passing. Multiple things align at this exact moment. The Prophet ﷺ taught that during the last third of the night, Allah Ta'ala descends to the lowest heaven. In a hadith recorded in Sahih Bukhari, he described what happens during those hours. Allah calls out, "Is there anyone making dua to me? Is there anyone asking from me? Is there anyone seeking forgiveness from me?" This is not metaphorical language. Islamic scholars understood this as a literal reality. During specific hours, Allah extends an invitation to his servants. At Fajr, another significant event occurs. The distribution of provision for the entire day begins. Islamic scholars explained that rizq, sustenance, and opportunity is allocated at this time. What you will earn, what you will encounter, what doors will open, this distribution happens at Fajr. Additionally, the angels experience a shift. The angels of the night who have been with you through the darkness begin their ascent. The angels of the day descend to take their place. During Fajr, these two groups meet. The hadith describes this moment clearly. The night angels report to Allah about how they left his servants. Your body also resets at this time. The circadian rhythm, your biological clock, reaches a turning point. Cortisol levels begin rising. Your body prepares itself for the day ahead. This is not learned behavior. It is built into your biology. So at the moment of Fajr, something unprecedented happens. The spiritual world shifts. The biological world resets. The cosmic order transitions, and the entire day begins to unfold. Most people sleep through it. While you sleep, everything about your day is being decided without you. During the last third of the night, something specific is offered to the servants of Allah, an invitation. The Prophet ﷺ described this in clear terms. He said that Allah descends to the lowest heaven and calls out. The exact words are recorded in the hadith. Is there anyone calling upon me that I may answer him? Is there anyone asking from me that I may give to him? Is there anyone seeking forgiveness from me that I may forgive him? This invitation is extended every single night, not once a year, not on special occasions. Every night this call is made. But why this hour specifically? Why does Allah make this invitation during the time when most people are asleep? Islamic scholars explain that this time tests the sincerity of the servant. Sleep is one of the greatest pleasures available to humans. During the pre-dawn hours, that pleasure reaches its peak. The blanket is warmest. The mind is foggiest. Getting up feels the hardest. So the invitation comes at exactly this moment, not when it is easy to answer, but when answering requires a choice, a sacrifice of comfort for connection. The Prophet ﷺ understood this deeply. He did not pray tahajjud once or twice. He prayed it consistently, night after night, for 23 years. He left his bed. He broke his sleep. He answered the invitation. His practice showed something important, that tahajjud is not an obligation like the 5 daily prayers. It is a response to an invitation, and responding to an invitation reveals something about the person responding. A person who answers this call is demonstrating something to Allah, not in words, in action. They are saying through their choice, I love you more than comfort. I choose connection over sleep. I will leave what I love most for you. This is why Islamic scholars described tahajjud as the worship of those who truly love Allah. Because only love would motivate someone to leave comfort in the middle of the night. The invitation is real. It happens every night. The question is not whether Allah calls. The question is whether you answer. Allah extends an invitation every night. The question is whether you answer. There is a moment in every day when something crucial happens. The distribution of provision begins. In Islamic teaching, provision or rizq is not only money. It includes your opportunities, your connections, your safety, the doors that will open, the help that will arrive, everything that reaches you during the day. And this provision is distributed at a specific time, at Fajr. Islamic scholars have explained this concept consistently throughout history. Ibn Abbas, one of the greatest scholars of the Quran, asked his son a direct question about this. He said, do people sleep at the time when rizq is distributed? The implication was clear. Sleeping at that hour means missing the distribution. It means being absent when your provision is being allocated. This is not mystical or vague. Islamic scholars were precise about this teaching. The distribution of rizq happens at Fajr. Those awake participate in it. Those asleep miss it. But what does this actually mean in practical terms? Someone wakes up for Fajr, they pray, they remain awake in dhikr and preparation. Their mind is alert, their heart is open, they are ready. The day begins, an opportunity appears, a person calls with a job offer, a connection is made, a problem is solved unexpectedly. This person sees it, they recognize it, they respond to it because they are awake and present. Meanwhile, someone else wakes up late, their mind is groggy, they are rushed, they are not prepared. The same opportunities pass by them, they miss the call, they don't see the connection, they are not positioned to receive what was being offered. The distribution happened, the doors opened, the provision was released, but only those awake could receive it. The scholars explain this further. Sleeping after Fajr causes a decrease in barakah, in rizq. Not because Allah is punishing, but because you have literally slept through the opening of the doors. The moment when provision begins to flow is the moment you are choosing to sleep. This is why the Prophet emphasized not returning to sleep after Fajr, not as hardship, as wisdom. The most productive hours of your entire day are the first hours after waking for Fajr. Your brain is sharpest, your opportunities are arriving, your provision is flowing. Those hours determine the tone of your entire day. Your provision for the day is distributed at Fajr. Sleeping through it means missing your doors. Your body operates on a 24-hour clock. This clock is called the circadian rhythm. It is not something you learned, it is built into your biology. This clock is synchronized with the movement of the sun. As the sun rises, your body receives signals, hormones shift, energy increases, your mind becomes more alert. One hormone is particularly important at the pre-dawn hour, cortisol. This hormone begins rising approximately 30 to 45 minutes before sunrise. It does not wait for you to wake up. It begins preparing your body before dawn arrives. Cortisol does specific things. It increases your energy for the day. It sharpens your mind. It activates your immune system. It helps regulate blood sugar. Your body is literally being prepared by its own system to wake up and be productive. This peak in cortisol is critical. It represents your body's maximum readiness for the day. This window, the first 2 to 3 hours after waking for Fajr, is when your brain functions at its absolute best. After this window closes, cortisol levels begin to decline. The sharp mental clarity starts to fade. Your peak productivity window has passed. Consider what this means practically. If you wake for Fajr at the time of cortisol peak, you are working with your body. You are aligned with your biological design. The first hours of your day are your sharpest hours. But if you sleep past this window, you are working against your biology. You are sleeping during the time your body is designed to be awake and productive. When you finally wake up, that peak has already passed. The Prophet ﷺ taught this 1,400 years ago. He instructed his followers to sleep early, to wake for tahajjud, to pray Fajr, to not return to sleep until sunrise. Modern science is now confirming what Islamic teaching always knew. Your body is not fighting this schedule. Your body is designed for it. Someone who ignores this biological reality and sleeps through these hours is choosing to waste the most capable hours of their mind, the hours when they could accomplish the most, the hours when their thinking is clearest. This is not about discipline or willpower. It is about alignment. It is about working with your body instead of against it. Your body's sharpest hours are the first hours after Fajr. Sleeping through them wastes your best mind. When you wake during the pre-dawn hours and stand to pray, you are not alone. This is not poetic language, it is Islamic teaching. The angels of the night are still with you. The angels of the day are arriving. During Fajr, these two groups gather together. The hadith describes this explicitly. The Prophet ﷺ said that the angels of the night and the angels of the day meet during Fajr prayer. The angels who have been with you throughout the night are about to ascend. The angels who will accompany you throughout the day are descending. In that moment you stand to pray and you are surrounded by the armies of heaven. The hadith goes further. It describes what happens when you stand for Fajr. The night angels who are ascending report to Allah. They tell him, we left your servant while he was praying. Your name is mentioned in the highest realms, not as someone who was careless, not as someone who slept through the invitation, but as someone who answered, someone who showed up. This is the reality of standing for Fajr. You are part of a cosmic gathering. You are being witnessed by those who exist beyond the visible world. There is another consequence of this consistent presence at Fajr. Something visible begins to appear. The Prophet ﷺ said that on the day of judgment, believers will be recognized by the traces of wudu on their faces, the radiance left by ritual purification and prayer. Among billions of people, the believers will glow with a light called Noor. Where does this Noor come from? From wudu made at blessed hours, from prayer during sacred times, from standing before Allah night after night. A person who prays Fajr consistently begins to carry something, not something they can explain easily, but something people feel: peace, openness, a kind of brightness in the face. This is not magic. It is the accumulation of consistent connection, of answering the call, of standing before Allah, of being witnessed by angels, of participating in the